Hi, this is Todd Baker, your certified mortgage planner, and in this video we're going to discuss the elements that make up your credit score. These are important to know so that you can maintain the maximum possible score. Having a credit score and a good credit score is so important in this day and age because it determines can you buy a house, and if you can, what kind of loan you can qualify for. It affects your interest rate. It also affects interest rates on car loans and credit cards. So it's really important to understand how to maintain good credit. And I want to start by just saying it's actually pretty easy. I'm going to give you the three basic steps, and I'm going to give you some information from Experian. They have a really good blog that sort of goes over scoring that I'm going to show you in a minute. I'll give that to you with commentary. So here's the thing. Number one, no derogatories. So that means no medical collections, no collections whatsoever. Now, if you already have those on there, the best way to treat them is just let them age off your report. If you pay off a collection account, it then re-reports as a paid collection and puts a fresh collection and drops your score. So usually the best advice and the best practice is do not worry about old collections. There's certain times you do have to pay them off to qualify for a home loan. There are certain times, and those can be negotiated and paid off at a discount. But generally speaking, you don't want to pay them off unless, as part of negotiating with them, they agree in writing and actually follow through with deletion of the collection account in exchange for payment. And most collection agencies will not do that. So the better thing is avoid it altogether. And a big thing I see is medical collections. Medical collections aren't considered a liability risk for loans, but they hurt your score. So when you go to the doctor and there's a medical bill, if it hits you at a bad time and you can't pay it all at once, always work out a payment plan. So that's the first step. No new derogatories. Number two, all payments paid on time, no matter what. You should have a budget that has a spreadsheet that shows all your bills, when they're due, the amount, and then whether they're pending or paid. And you need to check your checking account 2 or 3 times a month until you make sure they're all paid. I see all the time where people miss payments because they set them up automatically and something happens with the system. It's not their fault, but then the creditor won't go back and remove the lates. They literally won't. They're like, well, it's a system error, but it went late. You didn't pay it. You should have checked. And you should have checked. And you check by double checking that it actually clears your account. Don't just assume it's going to be paid through the automatic payment system. So those are two of the biggest things. The next thing is the third one is keep your credit card usage is it's called the utilization rate at about 30% of the balance of the card. So let me go over real briefly here with you what makes up. So here's basically scores. This is their viewpoint of scores. 300 to 579 is considered very poor. You really can't get a mortgage loan till at least you get 580. 580 to 669, that's really usually the best loans in FHA. 670 to 639 is good credit. You're starting to get into FHA or conventional loans. And up here, 740 to 799 is very good, and then 800 to 850 is exceptional. So really for mortgage lending, if 740 and above is great. 760 is where the prime pricing kicks in. So that's how the scoring models work. Now, if we come down here, I'm going to scroll down. It shows how scores are calculated. So payment history, and these are some of the things I'm talking about. Payment history, paying bills on time. It counts for 35% of your score, right? The other one is credit usage rate, counts as 30% of your score. Those two things. Length of credit history, 15% of your score. Total debt and credit, 10% of your score. Recent applications. Now this says 10% of your score. Now I wanted to show you, to comment on inquiries, because that's 10% of your score, right? And one inquiry has zero impact on your score. We have a calculator that allows us to double check scores, and I've actually did a separate whole entire video on does credit inquiries hurt your credit score, and the answer is they do not. There's some other information that talks about when you're shopping for a mortgage, all the inquiries count as one. Or if you're shopping for a car, they all count as one. The rule on inquiries is only pull your credit when you need to. Okay, don't pull it every time you walk into a store and they say, hey, you get 5% off to get a credit card. You don't need that many credit cards. You need maybe 2 or 3 at the most. Okay, just for convenience and to use in case of emergency, etc. But at the end of the day, don't pull your credit unless you need to. So that's a real good snippet. No derogatories, pay it on time. And let me tell you the secret about credit repair. It doesn't work at all. It's a total scam. Don't bother with credit repair. You can take, no matter where you're at, like if you're watching this video and your score's below that 580 mark, you're probably, just by keeping everything on time, maybe getting a secured credit card and reestablishing some credit that way, within 1 year you'd be able to buy a house typically. It's about 1 year of just no new lates and all good payments, and you'll be okay. So manage your credit well, and you'll be in great shape. And over time, you can build it up into that 800 range and have good credit your whole life. There's other factors on how to manage your finances that I help you with. So please feel comfortable calling me anytime with questions, and I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.